welcome back.
Welcome back. And I'm doing this perfectly.
Well, you missed a spot right over here.
I ain't missing no spots.
Look at this.
Nothing.
Right here.
I don't get out of my way.
Don't kill me. I don't know if you can. Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I'm trying to learn how the cruise control works, but I didn't want to keep pushing the forward button, but it's hard.
I mean, doesn't it just cruise?
Well, yeah, but I was trying to actually, like, do the cruise control, like, fully, and even on the turnaround. And just never hit the forward button again, but I didn't line it up, and I got all over the place, and I made a mess at this end of the field. Luckily, the spots that you actually, like, plow, it plows them normal. It doesn't plow them the way I drove them.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be ugly. I think I missed a spot here, too. Let me make sure I did.
I zoom all the way into first person. No. God, I want to be first person, man.
There is definitely a first person button on this game.
I don't want to be. I want that.
Have you tried just hitting all the random buttons and see what happens?
Just hit every key on my keyboard.
Hit every key. Just don't hit your stop recording key.
So I'm planting canola here. We got soybeans in the one, and wheat in the other.
Okay. And I wonder if the stuff will be ready to harvest at some point in today's episode, because we did speed it up to what, 15 times speed.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to 120. I mean, the thing is, it's definitely, even though there's a real-time option too, but even
so
though
we'll have to wait 4 months before we can harvest.
Well, that's the thing I don't understand, right? 1 day has passed, and that shit's grown a hell of a lot more than anything grows in 1 day. So, like, how does the growing work? You know what I mean?
Like, how long does it actually take? How many days in-game is it supposed to take for it to grow?
Yeah.
Like a wheat field? Yeah, good question. No idea.
It's growing mighty fast compared to, like, the real world.
I mean, but you have to be the first one to admit that you said you've never actually farmed before.
I mean, I've lived around enough fields to know that
maybe
wheat doesn't grow in 4 hours.
But maybe they were like going out and harvesting the wheat every day, coincidentally at different times.
Right.
And
they do get up pretty early in the morning. I kind of tend to sleep in.
And every day when you happen to see it, you thought it was the same wheat from that first day, a little bit more grown. That's just all coincidence.
Right, right. It makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely perfect sense. Are you into like gardening or anything?
I am.
Like,
do you garden?
I don't yet, but we're going. We have a spot for a garden in front of the house, and I bought a.
So you're not going to build a tiny house there?
Well, but that's in the front. We could build a tiny house in the back if we wanted to. Still, actually.
Oh, you're going to garden in the front. I see.
Yeah, we have a garden in the
front.
Wait,
but how are they going to get to the sewer then?
That is a good question. Because that sewer is there in my front yard.
Right, if they're ready to get to the sewer, they're just going to come and like rip your fucking tomatoes up.
Does that even make any sense? Like, who in their right mind is like, there's a sewer here, we'll build the garden around it, which I get, so that's cool. So you make it so it's not visible, it blends in with the landscape. But why would you cover it so that you could never access it unless you ripped through all the shit, which is exactly what the city ended up doing that one day.
Right.
Like, why would our previous owner do that? It's so weird. But no, we're gonna do a garden up there, and I've got hops on order, so I'm gonna start farming some hops, which is gonna be cool. But I'm gonna do that in the backyard, I think. But my neighbor is pretty big into like gardening, and he goes and buys like fancy bushes and like treats them with like love and affection. Like, he got really hardcore into like horticultural type gardening.
What's he growing? Like, is it just bushes?
Like, yeah, like bushes and trees and stuff. Not the gardening as in like fruits and vegetables.
Gotcha.
Like, he's more into the other stuff. But he says, like, I mean, he spends like a couple $100s on, you know, some of these fancy bushes, and I gotta say they look pretty good in his yard. But that's something I would never really get into. But
Yeah.
I don't know really how to garden, so we bought some, you know, random seeds, and I bought some potato and garlic seeds because I really want to have garlic, fresh garlic all the time.
What the fuck is a potato seed?
I guess it's just a potato.
I was about. Are you? Yeah.
Apparently, garlic is.
Are
too.
you sure you bought potato seeds? I feel like you ever read that story? It's called Jack and the Beanstalk.
You think these are gonna grow a beanstalk instead?
No, but I feel like you
Are
got
you saying I'm
swindled
gonna
like
get rich
Jack.
from a golden goose from like these potato seeds?
You might. I think you have just as much chance as.
Oh.
Have you received the potato
Yes,
seeds yet?
they were from Lowe's. Excuse me, they
What
were
the
from
fuck do
a
they look
big
like? Are they
box
just
farm.
eyes from a potato?
We didn't open the box. I don't know. They were only like $1.99 or something like that.
I mean, I'm not saying
It's
that
not
you got
like they were
ripped off,
expensive.
but I just don't. I didn't know you could even. I mean, you literally could have went and bought a bag of potatoes and ate part of the product and then planted the rest.
I'm not saying you got ripped off, but when it comes to money, you got fucked. I
I do kind of feel like you fucked up with the potato seed purchase. Sorry.
But garlic is apparently the same thing. Apparently, garlic.
It is, yes, it is. Actually, yeah, I didn't. You know what? I was so hung up on the whole potato part, I missed that the other one was garlic.
But let me ask.
Did you buy some onions as well? Onion seeds?
Isn't that true for like even a tomato seed? Isn't it just the seeds from a tomato?
Sure, but see, that's a little bit different. I mean, that takes like some actual work.
Why? What if I put a tomato in the ground?
Okay, well, you know what? Actually, that would probably work. But I don't know. Sometimes those tomatoes are like not as ready.
No. C is the first person view. I hit it on accident.
Huh.
I was trying to raise my plow.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, let's do this now. Oh yeah, here we go.
I'm happy with this.
Driving this thing. Woo. But I mean, so what kind of things do you purchase seeds for, Guude? I want to call you out and show you how you can get them to.
I normally
real way.
actually, I probably waste a little bit of money by doing this, but I normally actually buy the plant that's already growing, like the small version. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. How much do those normally run?
I don't even know. Like, I think like tomatoes, like 50 cents or something like that.
Oh, so they're not that expensive. But I guess that's 50 cents per plant. Where
Right. Whereas you buy a pack of seeds, yeah,
you got like
you could totally
millions of plants.
So yeah, seeds are definitely cheaper.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what we want to grow because I've had a garden since I was like, it was my parents' garden. It wasn't my garden. All I know is we planted mint one year, and that was the worst thing we ever possibly did.
Why? Because it spreads so.
It took over the entire garden for years.
Yeah, dude, I have a field of oregano, like a fucking field. I'm not even kidding. Like I have so much oregano, like, and time too. I have I learned
so much time,
all
the time in the world.
I kind of learned from that, and I killed my time off that I had. Killed a lot of time.
Well, you need to better time management, Guude. Better time management.
And I've moved it into like a pot so that it can only spread so far. But the oregano is just unruly and it roams the world.
If I can remember, I am definitely going to name this episode "Time Management," spelled T-H-Y-M-E. That would be a cool like gardening show. Hey, it's Jeff and Guude. Welcome back to Time Management. So plants them about 2 inches deep.
I don't actually farm or garden year round though, so I don't do like the green season, like the collards, the lettuces, the broccolis.
Wait,
all of those.
I thought lettuce and broccoli and stuff was in the same season as like tomatoes and all that.
No.
What was I thinking?
Like cabbages and lettuces and all those things is already passed. That's done now. Broccoli, all those things are done.
Really?
So right now, yeah, it's like the time to plant like tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, those sort of things.
So, part of the field 12 is ready to harvest.
Oh, really?
I'm looking at the wrong field though. Where the hell is my guy?
So your potato seeds, this isn't really the time of year for those either.
Well, we haven't planted them yet. I don't know what's on. See, I guess I thought that we usually just started a garden once.
No, I think you can grow things out of season. It just doesn't perform as well. I don't really know.
Some of the people down the street from us, they have a greenhouse outside, and it's funny because in DC, I feel like that's a big waste of space.
Well, I'm sure that they could put a tiny house there and make $1 million instead.
They could probably put a tiny house there and make $1 million instead. Though we did find out that tiny houses, you can't really have them in DC.
Yeah, I knew that. Whenever you were first telling me, I was like, that is not allowed. You'd have to get permits that you're never going to get.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Dude, you know, we delayed a little bit in planting part of this field while we were figuring it out. And, like, literally there's a delineation on ready to harvest and in the last growth stage.
That's annoying. Is that the wheat?
Yeah. Like, you know, these guys.
Well, like, some of it just sprouts really fast, too. Like, over here, this canola, the first strip just sprouted right away, and then the rest of it has not.
Did you know we had a little well?
Yeah, you can drink out of it or something.
You can?
Right?
I can't.
Or, like, there's like a little fountain right over there beside that one field.
I can pretend to drink out of it or bathe or something, but can't actually do any. I can't interact with it.
But yeah, I bought a new tiller this year. I always had a gas tiller before, but I don't have an electric tiller, and I haven't actually put it together yet. I took it out of the box. It's on my front porch.
How long does the battery on something like that last?
Oh, you just plug it in the wall.
Oh, you keep it plugged in at all times?
Yes.
Wouldn't that get, like, tilled?
That is a concern.
That would be a major concern, because my dad used to do all the tilling in our garden, and because it was a big, like, fancy not electric, but gas powered, you know, behemoth. But I would never think in cord. We would definitely, like, I'd take it out of the box. I'd be like, let's do this, and I'd snap the cord on, like, the first run and be like, that was fun.
I feel like it's gonna be okay. I mean, it's definitely something you have to keep in mind. I've already considered this aspect of it all before I bought it. But I don't know. I was tired of dealing with the gas and oil mixture and all that bullshit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, because it's got
two cycle.
Yeah, it's got a 2-cycle engine.
Yeah. So
yeah, I can imagine that being a pain. I don't know anything like that out here in DC, nor would I need it. But I just don't know about an electric one of those. I would think an electric one that had like a giant battery on it or something like that. It'd have to come with 2 batteries though, and it'd have to be able to charge up one battery in the time that it took to discharge the other one.
No, I just got 150 feet of extension cord and an electric till.
An extension cord. How much does extension cord run for something like that?
So, I didn't actually know about this. I learned about extension cords. I didn't realize that. I guess I didn't know that power has a limit on how far it can go, based on the cable. So like I think it's 16 gauge is the like cheapest extension cord, and it can only like send so many amps over that distance.
Okay.
So like for the actual tiller, I had to buy 12 gauge extension cord, and it went from being like I think I'm remembering the numbers right. I can't remember. I might have this backwards where 12 gauge is the small amount of amps.
No, 12 gauge is definitely a huge cord. The numbers of gauge, they go down as the size of it increases.
Okay. So yeah, the 12 gauge cord was like $100 versus the 16 gauge would have been like $19.
Okay, so you're still not talking. How many amps does that thing draw?
The thing, I think it's 8 or 10 something, or I don't actually remember now. I remember I had to buy the 12 gauge cord, and I wasn't sure. I didn't actually measure it. I was like, that's probably 50 to 100 feet, and so I bought a 50-foot one and a 100-foot one cord.
But if you only bought a 50-foot one, could you have gotten away with less gauge?
Yes, less gauge because of the distance. Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's based off of the tiller said it needed X number of amps to run.
Right.
because we're getting a garage door installed in our backyard, one of those like standing doors. And the one company, but they charge an extra $3,000 for the like total, just their company. They wire it up for you, just an extension cord running it to the nearest outlet, which is for us is way up at the house. And this other company that's a much cheaper door, but you have to supply your own like power to it. And I was like, man, it's kind of a decent run for an extension cord, and I don't know how much those things actually cost. And I've really priced a long extension cord out that can be outside.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to need nearly the amperage that you're talking about.
Right. So then, yeah, if, like a 100-foot one at the 16 gauge is only like $20.
Okay, so we should be okay. I just need to hope it lives in the weather. God dang, 12 gauge cord. Huge.
It's expensive. And heavy is what the word I wanted to say. I don't know why she changed to expensive, but it was expensive for just to be a cord. But
just to be a cord.
Yeah, but it was heavy too.
And you're running it like from an outdoor receptacle in your house, I'm assuming?
Right.
Because the funny thing is, if you're on that much of an amperage drop across that distance, hopefully the plug that you're plugging it into is not just because it's probably not a 15 amp plug, wouldn't supply that over that distance, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually tried any of this shit. I bought it, and I was gonna do it this week, but it's been raining, so I haven't actually got around to tilling yet. So I normally would have already planted everything by now. Right, but I just basically grow the shit I eat. But I've been dehydrating a lot of stuff now, and so I clipped my field of.
Is it because you truly want to be a nurse? Is that why?
Yes, I was like, man, this stuff doesn't need water.
It's so dehydrated.
It was before we went to Disney. I wanted to. I wanted to bring a bunch of snacks, but I didn't want to buy trail mix already made because it's expensive, and I didn't want to buy a bunch of beef jerky because it's also expensive. So I decided I was going to make my own. I had a dehydrator that my grandma had bought like off the Home Shopping Network when I was a kid, and she gave it to me, and it was a piece of shit. And I'd used it a few times, like drying herbs and stuff from the garden. But so I bought a new one. It's so much better than this piece of shit my girl bought when I was a little kid.
How long does it take?
Beef jerky's the longest, and it was like 24 hours.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, the old ones that, like, we used to have one for my grandma as well that they bought off of, like, the Home Shopping Network. Probably like the Ron Popeil special or something like that. And it was, for beef jerky, it was like 2 weeks or something.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was like a long time that you...
I didn't realize. See, that's the thing. I never actually made beef jerky in my grandma's old one. And it didn't have any settings either. It was just a fucking metal coil at the bottom of this plastic thing. Yeah. And that was it.
Yep.
And like the new one is like fan driven. He's got like temperature settings, and it's really nice. It was only like $50 or something. So I don't know why I hadn't bought another one in forever.
The field just grew. I watched it.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to, my buddy borrowed it from me, actually. Pretty much, he probably still owns it somewhere because I never got it back from him because we never used it. But he used to have a pepper garden, and he used to dehydrate the peppers and then make some spicy, kick-ass beef jerky with that stuff.
Oh, when you said pepper, I imagined peppercorns.
Oh,
like,
no,
anyone that grows peppercorns.
I'm talking like hot peppers.
I got you.
And they were, oh god, like he would do habaneros, jalapenos, like all the things. Hell, he'd probably do a ghost pepper if he could get his hand on it. He was Asian, so he liked spices. Not stereotypical at all. And this combine is slow.
Yeah, these things are kind of slow. I still haven't finished planting this field over here with the canola. I'm almost done though.
And then I wonder how long it's going to actually take to...
That's what's so weird is 2 stripes of it grew, but nothing else has even grown at all.
Wait, 2 stripes of it grew?
Not all the way, but it's in like first phase.
I wonder if it does it like at an hour. It looks back and it's not like by the minute.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see if it every hour it's like if you grew within this, you know, this last run, then do this.
So what are you gonna grow then? Your potatoes and your
potatoes, garlic, and onions, and what else is it that you just throw in the ground? And I'm gonna throw a couple tomatoes in there, just like the full tomato, just on the ground. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to. I want to get like lettuce and broccoli and carrots and.
Yeah, see, you've missed all that. That's not now. Now is not the time for those things.
I always thought everything grew over the summer, and everything died in the winter.
No.
But I mean, if you have a greenhouse, you can grow.
If you have a greenhouse, then everything's different,
right?
Right.
But how would you, if it's different seasons, can you can you grow everything at the same time in a greenhouse? Or would you have to set your greenhouse like temperature and stuff to model seasons?
You know, I don't honestly know everything there is to know about a greenhouse, because a part of the thing is the sun. Like, the sun plays a big part of it, because certain types of plants require a cycle of not like how much light in day. That's the reason. That's how plants know to flower and stuff. Like, since today, well, no, never mind. I'm not gonna give what today's date is, because that would date the show's content. But anyways, like some plants plants know, like, all right, this is this because of the sun cycle, and that's how. So I think the greenhouse is going to require that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, plants aren't just going to flower on their own. They need the sun to tell them to flower.
So I wonder what people do. They have like different grow lights or something, and they have them all on different timers over top of different plants?
That's how people grow indoors.
Yeah, but
for sure.
I wonder about the outdoor greenhouses.
Like in the vegetative state of a plant, it can actually have 24 hours of sunlight. Like, you can give it sunlight non-stop. You can grow a plant non-stop. It needs no darkness at all. But then whenever you want to flower, you cut that in half. So you give it 12 hours of light, 12 hours of dark, and it'll force the plant to flower.
There's a small patch that randomly ungrew here.
Weird.
I'm not kidding. It just ungrew next to me. So what about places like Alaska? Don't they have like farms and stuff?
They have to have some kind of, like, people weren't meant to live there.
This thing is ungrowing as I'm driving on it.
That's really fucked up. Is it showing on the map as ungrown too?
No. Yes.
Huh. That's really weird.
Yeah, just the strip next to me. Like, the strip that I'm doing is fine, but every time I click get to the next section, the one next to it ungrows. Oh wait, now it stayed. But there's definitely an ungrown chunk in the middle.
But yeah, I don't think people in Alaska.
They have gardens and stuff in Alaska?
I don't think so, man.
I mean, we watch a lot of the show Buying Alaska, and there's definitely people with gardens.
Well,
they never say if they work or not. I just assume they
I'm sure there. I mean, when I'm just saying no, there's not. I'm just kind of joking, because obviously there is, but they're not growing the same shit. It's kind of like, I can't grow a banana tree here because I don't live in a climate that allows it. That sort of thing.
I want to grow pineapples. That's what I'm going to grow in the backyard.
I don't think you can.
I, for the longest time, thought pineapples grew on trees.
Really?
Yep. I was gonna go when I went to Hawaii. I was a senior in high school. We went on a school trip to Hawaii. I know, pretty amazing, huh? And
that is pretty amazing, actually.
I can't even like. Okay, I can't harvest this.
It's not grown yet, is it?
Well, I went to a section that is grown. What the frick?
Are you full?
95%. Maybe it's too full. I need to go get the. I either need to drive this to the silo, or I need to go get the. I'll just drive it to the silo. Yeah, I was gonna go to Hawaii. My parents were like, "So what do you want to do when you're there?" And I was like, "My one goal while I'm there is to go pick a pineapple off of a pineapple tree." And they laughed.
They were like, "You'd be a bad noise."
And they didn't tell me anything about why they were laughing. I think they thought I was joking. And then I got there and found out that there was no pineapple trees. But I did feel better, because a lot of people that I was with there were like, "What do you mean pineapples don't grow on trees?" So I'm not sure if maybe our schooling was just poor and they tried to not the silos.
Maybe that was the whole point of the whole trip.
It was all about like breaking it down that pineapples didn't actually grow.
Pineapple awareness trip.
Pineapple bush just sounds so much less exciting than a pineapple tree.
Right.
Like, if coconuts grew on bushes, do you think people would be like, look, coconuts, coconut water, yay? I don't think
Man,
so.
I remember the first time I got a coconut from the grocery store. I was so excited about this whole coconut thing.
And
I think it was like because of like Gilligan's Island. I think that's what got me like, man, I want a fucking coconut. I'm gonna fucking break it open and I gotta drink that coconut juice. I don't like coconut.
I actually hate coconut. I hate fake coconut. Real coconut, like coconut water, I think is okay, but I think it's really, like, for the most part, it's terrible.
Like anything that has dried coconut in it is the absolute worst thing. Like what you could have
agree.
The best thing and add dried coconut to it, and now it's the worst thing.
I completely. It's overpowering. It's a terrible flavor and overpowering. That's why, like, I hate pina coladas. Give me a strawberry daiquiri. That's fine. When people, what is that mixed one where it's like strawberry daiquiri mixed with pina colada? I don't remember what that is. What they call it, but I hate them. Somebody was doing, like, we were doing shots when I was in college, and somebody's like, Jeff, you gotta try this rum. It's awesome. And they just poured a shot, but they didn't show me what the bottle was. And I literally tasted it, and it was like, it was just nasty coconut flavor in my mouth because it was coconut rum. And I was like, that's fucking
Malibu rum or whatever.
It was like some special Captain Morgan coconut or something. But yeah, it's like, but I won't drink stuff like that because it's terrible.
For me, it's more so the texture than that. I mean, granted, I don't like it. I don't like the flavor of coconut either, but the texture is even worse.
It's like birthday cakes when you were a kid, and they used to, instead of putting like sprinkles or something on it, they would do coconut over top of the frosting.
Yeah.
You just ruin the whole fucking cake. It's done.
Right.
Done. Go away. Don't even come to my birthday next year. I hate you. Everything about you. You can even take your presents home. I don't want them anymore. If you have that bad a tasting cake, I don't even want to know what this shit is you got me. Get out of my house. Yeah, that's the way it is. See, my little boy's crying right now because he heard me talking about coconut. He was like, disgusting.
Please, not coconut.
It's like, not the coconut. Dad, like, you know, we talked about this. None of this stuff. Oh, God. Okay, I still can't freaking, like, harvest anything here. I don't know. I can't harvest.
That doesn't look done to me, man. It really does.
Did it turn? Is it green to you?
Gross. Yeah, that shit is not ready to be picked.
Wait, where are you at?
That is not ready to
harvest. The whole
harvest.
part of the field?
All of it is. None of it is ready to harvest.
So come over here to me. I want to show you something, and you'll see it in my video.
Your penis?
Yeah, yes, it's a penis. I drew a penis in here. Dude, you can actually do that in this game, can't you?
You sure could.
Holy crap! So, where you're at, right? Stop right there. So on my screen, all of this was grown because when I said the whole field grew, it did it at once. Next to you, this is all grown on my screen, but there's literally a line right here over down to here. This part is all not grown right in here.
None of this is grown for me. There is a square right back here that's grown.
Wait, if you say this spot is grown, it's like the only part. So again, there's a line right here. Goes this way, and this whole section here is not grown, but everything else is grown. And yes, you are standing in one that is grown on my screen.
Yeah, there's a little patch of grown, but that's it. The rest of it is not grown at all, for sure.
Weird. And according to my thing, field 12 on the map, there's only 2 little patches of growing area, and the whole rest of the field's ready to harvest.
I guess we should reconnect in between episodes and see if it fixes itself.
Does not make any sense. I don't.
Or if we can just hit save on the game and see what happens.
Probably.
Now, did anything happen for you?
No, nope. Everything looks the same.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll see next time. We're out of time.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.